great and helps you see in the dark, but most of us aren't aware of these until they land on our plate at lunchtime. But you would not believe what these have to go through to get from the ground onto your plate and into your tummy. Well, this is TruckWorld TV, so yes, you've guessed it, it involves a lot of trucks. Based in Tarleton near Preston, Huntapac Produce process over 100,000 tonnes of carrots and parsnips every year. And their fleet of 60 trucks and 66 refrigerated trailers work around the clock to keep our supermarkets stocked with veg. This truckload of carrots has just arrived after a 250-mile journey from a growing site in Scotland, and the first job for the driver when they arrive on site is to have the truck, trailer and load checked in the on-site weighbridge. All truck weighing, monitoring and logistics is run from the company's transport office, which is manned 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Well, running from this plant with 60 vehicles, monitor them all by Navman on the tracker system. We have all your vehicles are marked blue and green. Anything in green is a vehicle moving, anything in blue is a vehicle stopped. We can track them within 3 to 4 metres of where they are. We have vehicles that are late, issues with traffic, obviously weather conditions, everything, you know, everything has been taken into consideration. The biggest problem we do have is weather. You know, if we've got to move carrots, it's a drop of a hat. We can move from one place to another, and it's not just a couple of miles, it could be hundreds of miles. A lot of people comment on where we are, but before this, we were in another house which was a bungalow. So it's just, we are having a new transport office built, but just not at this time, so we've moved into here.
Well, back to our carrot delivery, and after the consignment is checked in the weighbridge, the trailer is taken to the transfer yard where the Scania cab that brought them to the site is swapped for a shunter. These shunters are strictly for site use, but their extra high pickup system means the drivers don't have to fold up the landing legs on the trailers to move them to the next stage. Now, already our humble carrot has covered over 250 miles and been on 2 vehicles. But like anybody or anything on a long journey, it must fancy a nice wash and brush up. And take it from me, it's going to get it the other side of these gates. But for more about that, I'm going to hand you over to Rob and his fancy uniform.
Well, if the carrots have had a relatively easy ride up to now, it's about to get a bit more turbulent for them. There's 41 tonnes of trailer here, 25 tonnes of which are the carrots themselves. And it's this stage that they start the preparation process. The first stage is to get the carrots off the truck, and they do this using a recycled stream of water, so the produce is floated out rather than just being dumped. This is more efficient and prevents breakages. From here, the carrots go through numerous high-tech washing, drying, polishing and sizing processes before being sorted and packed according to a customer's order. Inside the plant, forklift trucks are used to move the stacks of produce into the cold store, where they await their outward journey.
As they are dealing with fresh produce, it's not long on the shelf for the consignment, as it's soon taken to the main loading area. A refrigerated trailer is prepared and the produce loaded up, ready to head back out to the plant for the next leg of the journey. We caught up with Transport Manager John Bell to find out more about the Huntapac fleet of trucks.
Now, viewers will have realised that there seems to be certainly a lot of Scanias about the place. Tell us the story behind them then, John.
The Scanias were the favourite vehicle of the Hunter family. They did them well in the past, and they're probably going to do them very well in the future. They've done a really good job over the years getting the crops from the fields back into Huntapac. They've never let us down. So we prefer that vehicle.
But rumour has it there's a new kid on the block at the moment that you've brought in?
Yeah, we have. We've brought the Iveco Highway. Really good vehicle, very good reports from the drivers, very good MPG. The drivers like them, what surprised me. They are a very good vehicle. There's a lot of room inside. The seats are actually in the passenger seats in the bunk itself.
Yeah.
Which gives them a lot of room to stand up, get changed, and they enjoy sleeping in the vehicles.
Well, some people would say going from Scania to a Iveco is quite a big step, but what else is it? Is the MPG or what's the score?
The MPG is 9.8 compared to the Scania, which is 9.2 for us.
So that's a big, over half a gallon.
It's half a gallon saving, but in the same breath they do use a wee bit more AdBlue than the Scanias do, so I suppose it equals itself out, but they've been very reliable. They're cheaper on cost. There's a lot of savings to be had with them.
So what sort of life do they have? I mean, is it high mileage, or what sort of mileage do you do, and how long do you keep them?
We keep them for 37 months. We do roughly about 600,000 kilometres in that time. The reason we keep them for a 37-month period, not 36, is so that we get them for the month of December for our Christmas rush. If you can imagine Christmas, everybody wants carrots and parsnips, and best way of doing it and saving us monthly rental is by keeping the vehicles for that extra month, and the manufacturer's quite happy with that.
Of course, the trucks is only one side of it. You obviously got trailers. How many trailers do you have?
We've got 66 refrigerated trailers, 20 of them being dual temperature, which are the latest addition to the fleet. We've got the dual temperatures to enable us to do more consolidation. We're now taking bananas for Dole Fresh, delivering bananas around the country, whereas we could never do that before.
Whilst most of the vehicles on site are less than 3 years old, in one of the Huntapac storage barns there are some hidden gems of yesteryear. A private family collection of classic trucks and vans. This really is a fantastic collection of classic commercial vehicles. Now, while some have been bought in for the collection and painted up, a lot of them have been in the Hunter family from new. The Albion Reaver at the end has spent 20 years pulling carrots out of the field here for the business, and this one, the 55 Chieftain, again was bought from new and it's still going strong today, nearly 60 years on. Not bad for something that cost 750 quid when it was new. I wonder how many of the commercial vehicles on our roads today are still going to be going strong in 60 years' time. Back to the present day, and our fresh load of carrots is coupled to one of the modern Scania trucks, where they'll now be sent to a regional distribution centre somewhere in the UK. Though luckily for us, this delivery is heading just a few miles down the road to the Waitrose hub in Chorley. From there they'll then be delivered to the store itself. So there you have it. In less than 24 hours, these have covered more than 300 miles, have gone from Scotland to Tarleton to Chorley to the distribution centre, and here at Preston they finally arrive at the branch. And I think that's pretty impressive for the humble carrot. But it really does bring home how important commercial vehicles are to keep our country moving, to keep us alive. Because without them, well, it wouldn't be just the carrots that would be missing from your Sunday roast. It'd be everything you see.